All right, so we're going to take a look at some of the new figures that we like the most. So we're going to just start off with the Ultra Chase Captain Marvel. It's 100 points, 7 range, power cosmic. And as you can see here, the dial is basically phase in, pulse wave, super senses, and prob.
Pretty nasty dial, especially for 100 points.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely the power is the most interesting. I'll just read the first one. I need 3 years to fully return. Once per game when Captain Marvel would be KO'd. Instead, give him 3 resurrection tokens and place him on this card at the beginning of your turn. If Captain Marvel is on this card, remove a resurrection token. When the last one is removed, place Captain Marvel in any square along the edge of the map on click number 3. And then the other part of this power would be Protective Pulse Wave. So you're coming back into the game with a 9 phasing, 11. So it's I mean, that's her best click.
Yeah.
Not defensively, but
yeah,
that's pretty
9,
much
11, 17 for best damage, best
attack, and you're not really missing one movement.
Yeah.
I'll let you read the second one.
Okay.
All
right.
novel.
I'm coming back to save everyone. When Captain Marvel is placed on the map by use of I need 3 years to fully return, all standard characters that were on a starting force that were KO'd this game were placed on the map on their starting click this game and given a spirit token. Friendly characters are placed along the same edge of the map as Captain Marvel and opposing characters on the opposite edge. Until your next turn, characters placed this way can't be attacked. This game, characters with the spirit tokens can't be replaced, can't generate bystander tokens, and can't be scored. This game, when a character with a spirit token takes damage, remove it from the game. So essentially, they come on the board, they get the spirit tokens, they can't do anything until your next turn. So when you put your characters on the board, they can't do anything, and you can't attack your opponent's characters that you KO'd. But when your next turn, then it's pretty much free for all there. But same thing with some other of those powers where if you take damage, you get popped off the board. So that's a similar thing. So you don't want them to take damage, but they start off with their top dial. So on the right team, this could be pretty nasty.
Yeah, it's super interesting. So basically your game plan, I would imagine, would be to have Captain Marvel die, and then you want your other characters to die. I guess they could die before Captain Marvel, but you just really want to prevent Captain Marvel from being the last character of yours to die. And if that's the case, then you get all your characters back on their top dial. It just seems like a really good way to outvalue somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially, there's so many characters with just the nastiest top dials that if you just build your team around it and you just have disgusting characters, I'd like to see somebody make this piece work in competitive. That'd be incredible. I don't know if that'll happen, but for like local play, I think this piece is just going to be a beast.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely some trickiness there. It could be really good, or it could just be pretty good.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's like it reminds me of that super rare Green Lantern that could resurrect somebody, and I was trying to think of all kinds of crazy ways that you could make that work, but this is just a mass res.
Yeah. We're gonna skip the Venom chases. They're all, fairly good and interesting, but nothing like stands out that I want to jump on at the moment.
It's all just going to depend on if the call-in help from the Venomverse trait is like, it depends on how good that ends up being like in practice. So the theory behind the trait is if you hit somebody once per turn, you roll a d6 from a 3 to a 6. You can place another character whose name is Venom adjacent to the character you just hit. So in theory, if you hit somebody and you had like 4 Venomverse characters, you could pop all 4 of them down around that guy, and that guy gets jumped beyond belief.
Yeah, so I mean, there's definitely some potential there that could be really nasty.
Yeah, I just hate to see 100-point melee characters that look kind of soft.
Yeah, I mean, they all have shape change, but there's no damage reducers really, if any. I mean, there's Iron Man, but that's just one of them. Yeah, I don't know.
If someone might make that work, and it might.
They're not bad figures.
No,
they're
they're pretty solid, but
yeah.
Medusa,
we get this the free TK, but it's let's see here. Replace all 6 with 3 in the text power.
So you get a free action 3 range TK for 75 points. I'm not writing home about that one.
It's not far enough of a TK. I mean, in the right situation it could be, but I think most it's not going to be there. Gorgon's okay. There's some cool stuff with him, but I think there's a little bit more we want to cover. Loki's, again.
Loki was a bit underwhelming. I would have hoped that they would have, for 150 points, I think that they could have afforded to be a lot more provocative, I guess, with his first trait. And, just kind of, if you roll a 1, opposing characters modify defense by +1. Okay, that's cool. If you roll a 2, all characters can use phasing teleport. Well, why would you want that? If you can roll a 3, each player chooses a character, and that chosen character modifies all combat values by +1. Okay, well, why would you want their character to have +1s? And if Loki's 150 points, who are you choosing to modify by +1?
Right.
It just, I don't know. It's a bit lackluster. I'd like it to see it benefit you more than your opponent. Number 4 is just barrier. Okay, that's cool. Number 5, you get a friendly characters modify their attack by +1. Okay, that's cool. And on a 6, your friendly characters modify all combat values by +1, which that is absolutely insane. That definitely should be the 6, but I just think the other numbers are kind of lacking.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a 1, your opponents get +1 to their defense. That's not good. Number 2, you all get phase-in. Okay,
I think it's just too unreliable for the result to be good. 1 through 3 is just mediocre. Number 4 is just a barrier.
Well, because if you need barrier, you would probably just get a character with barrier.
Yeah.
You're not going to try to roll a... Yeah. It's just too... It might be fun in practice, but not competitively. Competitive, it needs to be, you know exactly what you're doing.
If you're rolling Loki's die, you're not hoping for barrier. And if you're not hoping for barrier, you're not hoping for any of the first 3, so all you want is a 5 or a 6. That's really the only relevant thing.
I guess 3, you can give... your character +1 stats, but if you're gonna attack them, they're just gonna probably pick the character that you're gonna attack. It basically counters out.
Yeah, so a little disappointing.
Yeah,
I don't think we've gotten a good. Since I've been playing, I haven't really seen a great Loki.
I mean, there's the kid Loki, but it was more of a taxi.
Yeah, and that was before my time.
All right, X51. I'm trying to see here. Whenever an opposing character with power, no. Oh, it is actually Power Cosmic and Colossal. Make an attack. You may roll a d6, 2 through 5. The attack gets -1.
So we just have... This is just a more expensive... what's the what figure came out? Spiderling?
Yeah.
This is more expensive Spiderling.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a Colossal Retaliator kind of character that could kind of slow him down.
I guess you're getting a... I don't like that dial at all, actually. I was going to say, I guess you're getting a better dial. You get a stop click, and then your dial is okay after that. She does get Power Cosmic, range of 8, Perplex, Outwit, Prob. So she's nutty after the stop click, but I'd just play Spiderling. I don't think she fits onto too many teams.
Does, okay, she gets range of 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's, yeah. Because... Until you get hit, it's support.
Yeah.
And then if you're not going against anyone with Colossal Retaliators, it's too situational. That needs to be cheaper. Like, maybe if it was 4 clicks and maybe for like 40 points.
If they just
and maybe that last click was the last click, that stop click was the last click?
Yeah, that's fine with me. I'm totally fine with that. That would have been okay with me.
Right. Because you're like, for 40 points, you have your healer, and you have a healer, you have a person that can counter Colossal Retaliators, and then if you do get hit on your last click, you're kind of a little bit of a god.
Yeah,
a little bit.
She's a beast on her last click, so that would have been fine.
But for an extra 35 points,
I'll just take my Spiderling and go home.
Yeah.
Okay. Tony Stark.
This
nuts.
one's fun.
I'm of the opinion that this is a nuts figure. You get a lot of bystanders. Let's see. The bystanders printed on this card are Iron Avengers at the beginning of the game. Generate 2 different Iron Avengers. So you get 2 at the start. Whenever an Iron Avenger is KO'd after resolutions, roll a d6. On a 1 or a 2, you deal Iron Man an unavoidable damage. Okay, we take those. We take an unavoidable damage. That's fine. Stop click invincible. Can't be healed above it. That's fine, because on his stop click, he's turning into Iron Man, and he's angry.
Yeah.
He's angry. He's got 5 damage. He's got Colossal. Somehow. Somehow he's got Colossal.
Yeah, I mean, when he turns into Iron Man, it's not terrible. It's not terrible.
Good. It's super good. Well, I guess he doesn't have an attack power, but I like all of these Pogs. And they all have the autonomous, so they don't cost towards your action tokens. At least I think it's their movements don't cost, or is it anything that they do? I can't remember. But Sting, Pen Psychic, Ring Shot, 2 damage, tiny size. That's great. Energy Explosion, 3 lightning bolts with range combat expert and sidestep. That's great. Sidestep, Quake, 2 damage combat expert. That's great. They all have Endom. I just noticed. That's kind of great.
Yeah, all the Pogs are really good. The Pogs definitely are really good.
You can only generate them on the first 2 clicks, but I'm not really worried about generating Pogs when I turn into Iron Man, because his Iron Man dial is...
Well, when he turns into Iron Man, and he hits the highest point opposing character on the map after resolution, generate an Iron Avenger that isn't already on the map. Yeah. Protected outwit. So, actually, you get... Let's just say you're able to generate... Well, you could technically generate... Can you generate all 3?
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be able to.
At the beginning... Okay, so at the beginning of the game, generate 2 different... Okay, so you start the game with 2.
You start the game with 2, and then you can power action and get one that's not on the map.
So then, basically, on turn 1, you can have all 3 of your Pogs out.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, okay.
That's the plan.
Yeah, okay. And then, when you turn into Iron Man, if by any chance any of them are dead, you could then essentially just if you hit the highest point, you get one of them back. So yeah, that's kind of nasty.
He is 125, but you know I overlooked that.
If you get the 3 Pogs,
you get the 3 Pogs, and then you become Iron Man. That's pretty valuable.
Yeah, they all have 10 attacks. This one's range combat expert. This is Psychic Blast,
and they gotta hit you. And if they don't hit you, you just keep making Pogs.
Yeah.
And then hopefully you don't take your unavoidable. Yeah. He's good. He's really good. He's a... I mean, we've seen Pog makers do well in the past. We've seen Devil Dinosaur. We've seen Gertrude and Old Lace. So yeah, I think Iron Man's got a spot.
Yeah, he doesn't have an attack power, but he could essentially have, you get Psychic Blast from 1 and range combat expert. So you could be dealing a lot of damage here.
Hold on. Can Steel Bow carry?
I don't think so. Why?
Why wouldn't he be able to carry?
Well...
He's not tiny. So, like, Sting wouldn't be able to carry because he's tiny, but he's got the wing symbol. Or can Pogs not carry?
That's a good question. Monolith is also a giant.
Yeah, so I would imagine that these might be able to carry. If they could carry, that's actually crazy.
Yeah. And they have sidestep too.
Yeah, that would be real. You just bring in both of them and then start taxing your team, if that's a thing.
I think so. I don't see why they can't. It's just one. They're just 1 click.
And they all have Endom. I like that. I like this figure a lot.
Yeah, no, I like it too. Yeah, and as soon as one of them gets KO'd, you just generate another one.
Yep. Hopefully he doesn't take your unavoidable, and then you just roll. You just bring in one that's on the map. Super good. Super good. The next. Oh my goodness, this Hulk is disgusting.
Yeah. Okay, so the Hulk here. At the beginning of the game, generate a Bruce bystander. As long as Bruce is on the map when Hulk would be given an action, you may instead give Hulk a soul token and do not clear his action tokens this turn. When Bruce is KO'd after a resolution, remove all of Hulk's soul tokens and deal him 2 unavoidable damage for each removed token. That's when Bruce is KO'd.
And then his damage power is Battle Fury. If he has 1 or more soul token, he has protected Outwit. If he has 3 or more, he has protected Pen Psychic and Exploit Weakness. So you want him to have soul tokens. So the name of the game with this Hulk is stick Bruce Banner in a corner somewhere,
right,
and babysit him.
Yeah.
And then let Hulk go free, and Hulk will never get tokened up.
Yeah, he'll never get tokened up at all.
And then the more tokens he gets, the more soul tokens he gets, rather, he gets protected Outwit, which you obviously never want Hulk to get outwitted, and then he gets protected Pen Psychic and Exploit Weakness, which are the 2 biggest downsides to his defense other than Pulse Waves. But there's not too much Pulse Wave right now.
Yeah, I mean, outside of Pulse Wave, if you get 3 soul tokens on him, he's gonna be a monster because you have to get through all of that damage reducers.
Yeah, his dial is long and looks really grueling, and then you just add in the fact that this Hulk is never stopping to clear.
No, it's just gonna go.
You're never stopping to clear, and then as long as you just keep Bruce out of the range of Colossal Retaliators, and you be mindful of, when he can die, I think he's gonna be crazy. Definitely crazy at locals. Maybe not competitive, but man, he's a beast.
Because there's some characters that can pop Pogs off the board. So in that sense, like, I don't know if he'll be competitive in that sense, but that's if people are playing that. I think it's. Oh, I can't remember which one. It's like Photon or something.
I can't remember. One of the Avengers Infinity Chases.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
It's one of them lets you just yoke a Pog across the board. But Groot's a thing, and that character still isn't played that much.
Yeah.
And Groot allows you to bring in all those
I'd
trees.
imagine if Hulk ever saw play, then that chase would come in and you just auto win.
Well, yeah, or you just would have a 150-point Hulk that
doesn't have Indom.
See, actually, I didn't even see that. It doesn't have Indom, but it doesn't.
Yeah,
the power kind of gives it to him.
Yeah.
So you need to keep Bruce alive. In that Perplex, that's a joke to think that you're going to use that.
Oh
Perplex.
yeah, he's in a corner.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't. Bruce doesn't get to play.
No. All right.
Bruce can perplex up his own defense.
That's basically all it would be.
Daredevil's sick.
The Daredevil here has got some interesting stuff. We do want to cover it before we go here. Movement elevated and hindering terrain, so that's nice. You're looking at it and you're like, what the heck is going on? When placing characters during game setup, choose a starting line for Daredevil and give him 3 6 tokens. When Daredevil is attacked after resolutions, remove a 6 token for each 6 in the attack roll. If Daredevil has a 6 token when he would be KO'd, instead choose a starting line different from the one you recently chose and turn him to that click, and it's protected by Pulse Wave.
I mean, this is just a meta tie-up piece. Like, all day, you have to roll. To kill this Daredevil, you have to, in your attack rolls, over the course of the game, have 3 6s in them. I don't see why you would even waste your time trying to kill this Daredevil, because if you kill him without a 6, he just goes to a different starting line, and it's just... All of these starting lines are pretty solid. All 11 attack, all 3 damage. all in dom. Yeah, he doesn't have reducers, but again, you don't care about reducers if he's not dying.
No.
His other trait is Daredevil can't be chosen for Mastermind. That's a good balanced decision in my opinion.
Sure.
Attacks made by Daredevil or by characters targeting him can't be re-rolled if the attack contains a 6. So he also has a second protected pulse wave. So double pulse wave protection.
Yeah, you're not pulse waving to get through these traits.
But yeah, so you can't prop a 6. So that's okay though.
Yeah, I mean, if you kill him and you don't roll a 6, he's just coming back on another's dial.
I mean, realistically, how many times are you going to attack this Daredevil? Like, I would imagine you would be attacking him probably around 5, maybe upwards of 5 times to hopefully kill this character.
Well, almost every single time you hit him, he's probably going to die.
Yeah.
So every time you hit him, he will die. So...
But if you're attacking a 60-point character 5 times, you're losing. You're losing that game.
Yeah, and that means every time you kill him, if you didn't have a 6 in that attack roll, he's coming back to life.
I guess if you had a bunch of probs, you could probably make it work, but...
That, or if you crit hit him, that would be pretty bad for Daredevil.
Yeah, if you crit him, that would be really unfortunate.
But he still wouldn't be auto dead.
It's pretty unfortunate if you ever get crit, though.
That is true. But, yeah, I mean, most characters that get crit hit, they're probably almost dead, right?
They felt it.
Yeah. So, but, oh well, if someone gets crit hit on you, like, you can't, like...
Better your 60-point character than...
Yeah, really. I mean, I think if you play him, though, you're right, though. This is the tie-up piece.
Oh, 100%.
That's just annoying.
And there's so many, like, never die teams where this just fits in, like,
with the
Joker, Ironheart.
Yeah.
I know those are rotating out soon, but still.
Yep.
Still really good.
It's really annoying.
Spider-Woman, the Spider-Woman Prime is kind of cool. She's like a bootleg Black Panther chase. She gets to choose a standard power printed on this card that Spider-Woman can't currently use. She can use that power until your next turn. So it's a pick-a-power character. She's got a lot of powers. She can always have any of the powers on the dial. Pretty nice. 80 points. It's not over a cost.
No.
I like this figure.
Yeah, I mean, you can start off with... run-in shot if you'd like, or pulse wave, or like you were mentioning earlier before you were filming, like you always kind of like having perplex and prob, so you could get that right off the bat too.
She always has access to perplex prob outlet.
So yeah,
she's pretty nice.
Like if you want her to be an attacker, she can be attacker. If you want her to be a support character, she can be support. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. For 80 points, she can do everything. The only thing I see here that's missing, she can't be your TKer. So that's unfortunate.
That'd be really nice, though.
Yeah, if she had TK, I would be like, then she could do almost everything. But, that's okay. She doesn't need to be the TKer on your team. But,
she's solid.
She is solid. Wait, so to choose a standard power... There's regen too.
Yeah, I mean you can take regen whenever.
And there's steel energy too.
And if they don't see through hindering, you just grab stealth and you're a big.
Yeah, it's just like if you're a player that always can just think if I could have this power, like this is the figure for you, really.
Captain America title book character. I still don't think they've made a good title book character.
You're not gonna go too much about this one. The power that the -3 power that it can
it's cool.
Yeah,
it's kind of situational. You get to place him next to the opposing character, and it has to be next to an opposing character and next to a square of blocking or hindering, and then he gets to make a close attack. If he kills the character, he gets 3 more plot points, meaning that he would be able to do it again next turn. But I just don't like plot. I don't like title book characters.
Yeah, the thing is, usually the title book characters are actually really good figures, but they have like really bad downsides when they die.
Yeah.
Like this one gives your opponent prob
for the rest of the game.
It's like, For 80 points, though, this many clicks is good, but yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
Oh, here we go. We're getting into it now.
Yeah, so this is basically the main thing here we really wanted to cover.
Venom is just your typical your typical Charge Blades figure. He has that Venomverse trait that we talked about earlier, which if the trait's good, then the figures are good, and we'll figure out that when we see it played. But the real thing here in this set is going to be these objects. These objects are absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
So this one in particular is the Venom Symbiote. 4 points. The effect, you get plasticity, shape change, and this character breaks away automatically. I would not want to play against a Daredevil that we just looked at with plasticity, shape change, and automatically breaks away.
Yeah.
That'd be a problem.
It would be a very problem.
I guess your consolation would be that he drops it when he's KO'd, but then he just picks it back up.
I guess. Yeah. I really, really like these new objects we're going to get. I think everyone originally slept a little bit on the Mighty Thor objects, and then everyone regretted not picking up them more.
Oh, yeah.
Because
the crowbar, Mjolnir, just ended up being so powerful.
Which, I mean, kind of had a feeling they were going to be, but like I don't think in general, like, a lot of them were reasonably priced, and then the set became super sought after, and then everything just skyrocketed.
Well, that's
kind of what I'm thinking here is like, you're going to want to get these objects as soon as possible because they're not going to go down in price.
Yeah, that set was too much fire for its own good. They had really good Colossals too.
That's true.
But the real reason that we're even making this video is honestly the Goblin Glider. What's the Goblin Glider do, Ryan?
Well, just the Goblin Glider alone is 8 points, and it gives you run and shot. If we looked at this and we kind of just glanced over this because it says if this character is Green Goblin, it can use hypersonic. Oh, but there's a little bit more to it. If this character can use run and shot, it can also use hypersonic. So you essentially can just now we can give any character run and shot now.
This is like
for 8 points.
Me and Ryan were talking about this, that like Heroclix over the past couple of sets, we're slowly doing it seemed like they were trying to weed out the power creep that they had let into the game over the past couple of years. And then all of a sudden, Avengers Infinity happened.
Yeah.
That set was way stronger than a lot of figures that we had seen previously, in my opinion. And then now we have 8-point running shot. So any character within the past 2 years can be given running shot for 8 points. I don't know if WizKids thought this through thoroughly, and I'm sure they're going to have a real fun time on their hands balancing the game for the next 2 years around the fact that any character can be given running shot for 8 points. But I imagine this is going to be probably the most sought-after piece. Green Goblin will probably end up being the most sought-after piece from this set, just for the fact that he has a Goblin Glider, and it's going to be a problem. It might not be a problem, but it's going to be meta-defining, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Like, you have to have Green Goblin so that you can get the Goblin Glider. The figure itself isn't bad because he starts with the glider. Yeah, you have to pay for it, but he gets to have
he's running shot hypersonic. He gets both.
Yeah, he gets running shot hypersonic with 11s and 10s and a stop dial with regeneration, and on his last click he can destroy the glider to get a +3 attack and do 3 penetrating damage.
So that would be a 12 attack, 3 penetrating damage with from 6 range, which is solid. Like this Green Goblin is solid. I'm a big Green Goblin fan personally.
Yeah.
I like Green Goblin a lot, but the footnote of this set is going to be running shot 8 points. That's all anyone that's what people are going to talk about. They're going to talk about this Ultra Chase.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, and they're going to talk about
the Goblin Glider.
The 8-point running shot that is going to be in the game for the next 2 years.
Now I personally agree with the Goblin Glider, but number 2 is the Octopus Arms.
I want these on Hulk.
Yeah, I want these on Hulk too. The Octopus Arms, 10 points, give you giant reach, flurry, and movement elevated and hindering. So basically you get flurry for 10 points with giant reach. It's hard to say why are these 10 points and why is run and shot only 8 points. I think the only reason why you could maybe say it's a little bit more just because you get 2 attacks.
You get a little bit extra.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I don't want on the other team. A Hulk with charge, flurry, giant reach.
No.
That never gets tokened. That's what I don't want on the other team.
You don't want that?
I don't want to play against that.
No. That's going to happen.
It's going to happen. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. I started playing this game in the Power Battery days. So
yeah.
I'm a big advocate of giving characters stuff that they didn't have to make them a little bit more viable. However, I do realize that when you do that, you sometimes make characters really, really broken.
Right, yeah. You make a lot of characters very playable, but then you make the great figures just unbeatable.
Yeah, one of the things me and Ryan were talking about is how many times do you see a character and you think to yourself, wow, if this character had running shot, it would be really, really crazy. Because I feel like I see characters like that pretty often.
Yeah.
And now it's just 8 points.
Like those chases that I was telling you, they all have phase in with their phase in,
flurry, steal energy.
Yeah, and with 12 attacks. So like now you can give them the run and shot, and now they have run and shot 12 attacks.
Those are what says that? Is that Avengers Infinity?
That was
with
Star Fox and all that
those were
stuff.
Avengers Infinity.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, that was the one downside with those chases that I don't think did only. I don't know if any of them had like a move and attack.
No, none of them did.
Yeah.
They all had phasing.
Yeah. Some of them had move and attack on their second
and they're
click.
all solid, but now they just get running shot for it. It's gonna be really interesting. This is a meta changing set. This is gonna change the way a lot of figures are played. I'm looking forward to it a lot.
100%. Just quickly gonna finish this. Just there's a couple. Shout out Black Bolt. We won't go too much into him. There is a couple more objects. Let's see here. Okay, where is it at? The web shooters give you in cap with a max range of 4. I'm not gonna go too much in this.
Yeah, I'm not crazy. They don't get they get an action token. Do they get an action token?
Instead of giving them action token, hit immobile until your next turn. They still take 1 penetrating if they has 2.
The problem with this is if you're 4 squares away from somebody, I don't really think that they need to move to hit you if they have any range at all.
Yeah, I'm not. It's okay. That's not it.
Any hit, Chief?
No. Let's see here. The Mini Slayer when this character hits a friendly character. If a friendly character to this.
This one was interesting. So this is an anti-object object.
Oh yeah. So it basically makes you remove equipment that you have on.
When a friendly character hits, if friendly to this equipment, after resolutions, you may equip this object to a hit character. It will unequip other equipment. If this character is friendly to this equipment, it can use super senses but only succeeds on a 6. If this character is opposing to this equipment, it can't be given actions to equip and modifies speed by -2. So basically, you hit them, it forces them to take this object. They can't be given actions to equip another object, and they modify their speed by -2. Pretty solid.
Yeah, it is solid.
For 4 points. I don't know the equip rules too well. I don't know if you would be able to just drop it.
Yeah, but
I'd have to read up on that.
This one definitely, though, is the whole idea is to basically you can hit someone with this and unequip their like Mjolnir.
Yeah, which would be sick.
Right. That's like we need this item in the game.
I'm a big fan of anti-meta stuff.
Yeah. So that's it. It's not so much great for you. But it could neuter someone that's also playing equipment.
I'm just trying to play a team with Darwin, this, Unseen, Spiderling, all the anti-meta figures I can get.
And then the first one is the Beetle Pod. Gives you flight, toughness, and modified speed. This one is not bad. It gives you... So now we have an object that gives you toughness. So that's good for anyone that is missing some damage reducers. Not the best damage reducer, but it'll prevent poison. So that's good.
Yeah, I don't see why this is worth 8 points and running shot is worth 8 points.
Yeah, I'll give you that one too.
We could make arguments about the Octopus Arms, but this one's kind of like, why is this 8 points?
Yeah, flight, toughness, and plus speed. I mean, 8.
I'll take running shot.
I would take running shot as well.
But I guess it's a great option in the game. Maybe your character is just missing toughness and needs a little bit of extra speed. But also keep in mind, if you have charge or running shot, it's gonna happen after you have your speed. So your charge and running shot's gonna be +2.
Yeah,
that's pretty nice.
Yeah, that is true.
And you have flight, so you can get over things like blocking, hindering. It seems pretty good for a charge character, but what also seems good for a charge character is giant arms or octopus arms.
I agree. All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this kind of equipment pseudo chase and super rare breakdown. And yeah. All right, guys.
Love you.
Yep, we do.